Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Madonna. If you're new here, I make content around filmmaking, and today we're going to be talking about how to film a fight scene. Alright, so I filmed a couple fight scenes, and I think you can break it down into three categories. 1, choreography. 2, camera angle. And 3, editing. But we're going to go through all three. First off, choreography. So, first things first, I'm going to say this. This should be very obvious, but in case it's not, as a director, right, your number one priority should be your actor's safety. I don't care if you think that getting actually punched in the face is going to make the scene look cooler. Doesn't matter. Your actor's safety should be your number one priority as a director, and it's always my number one priority whenever we're doing anything that can involve somebody getting hurt. So when you choreograph a scene, at no point should the actors make contact with each other. Everything should be fake. It should be a fake punch, a fake kick. Like, they can do the actual punch, but they should not be touching. They should not connect, okay? That is so important. So please, 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 when you choreograph a scene, do not let the actors actually hit each other. Please. All right. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about choreographing a fight scene. So if you're doing this for the first time, I would recommend keeping it as simple as possible. And that can look like person A punches person B. Person B punches person A. Person A blocks person B's punch and uppercuts them and they pass out or get knocked out or whatever. That's a very simple fight scene. Whenever you're choreographing, what I like to do is write down exactly what happens. Listen, I'm all for actors improvising. This ain't the time to do that. We're not improvising when we fight. If you have an idea and we're on set and you're the actor and you're like, hey, what if I tried this? That's different. But if in the middle of the fight scene, no. So we're always practicing. We're letting the actors know exactly what we're doing, right? And then once we do that, we practice it. For this video, I'm going to be referencing Cannibal Episode 2 and Cannibal Episode 4, because those both had fight scenes in it, but they were different. So going back to choreography. For episode 2, it was a little bit different because there wasn't any punches or kicks. The character was pushed into the wall and he was thrown on the ground. And so when you're doing that and you want to think about their safety, how can I make sure they don't get hurt? One of the things that I recommend, which I didn't even do before, but now I will do moving forward, getting knee and elbow pads for the actors and putting them under their clothing. Super important, and it's a great way to make sure that if they do fall, if they have a scene where they get pushed into something, or if they're thrown on the ground, that they're not getting hurt, right? The other thing is getting a fall pad. Now, fall pads are kind of expensive. Could I buy one now? Yeah, but like back then when I was first in Cannibal, didn't have it in the budget, so I got the one I could afford. It was maybe like 50 bucks. And I've been using it ever since. It's like about an inch thick, and it's not great, but it does cushion the blow, and I've used it all throughout Cannibal. So what I did in Cannibal, the actor gets pushed into the wall, and then he gets flipped onto the ground. What you can't see is that when he's flipped onto the ground, he's flipped onto a fall pad. This is something that we practiced multiple times before we actually did it to make sure that the actor was safe. We choreographed it, but you would never know that because you don't see the pad, right? Now the second fight scene was an axe fight. Actually, let me get that. Hold on, let me get it. Okay. So, for Cannibal, there was an axe fight. We had a real axe when we were filming. This is the actual axe. And the irony is that I remember going on Amazon and typing in prop axe. This is what I bought, thinking, wow, this is a really good looking prop axe. This is a real axe. It's got some weight to it. This is a real axe. So I was like, well, okay. So we did use the real axe filming. At no point during filming was this swung at anybody. At no point was this axe, this real axe, at no point was this real axe swung at anybody. Instead, we used this. This is plastic. It's actually a little bit loose. This is plastic. We duct taped it so that it matched. Excuse me, this is dangerous. Please don't sniff that. See? Right. So anytime there was somebody getting swung, it was this. Anytime it was just for looks, like, oh, blah, 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 I'm talking with an axe in my hand, it was this. This is what we used when the actors were actually doing fighting with each other, and we practiced it, we choreographed it. So if you see that, mistakes were made. Okay. Anytime the actors were fighting and this was being swung around, it was the plastic axe, not the real one. Anytime you're doing a scene with a weapon, always, always, always get a fake prop one. Like I had a knife fight I did back in the day. I bought like a pack of retractable knives. They were plastic. Why? For the actor's safety. You do not want somebody messing up and getting accidentally stabbed. Now in my most recent video, I have not released that yet. I may by the time. We'll see what happens. But that had guns, and I used BB guns, okay? So that was a little bit different because for one of the shots we did have to shoot the BB gun. What did we do? I made it very clear to everybody, this gun is live. It has rounds in it. Obviously it didn't have bullets in it, but a BB gun still has the potential to hurt somebody. So I made it very clear. I said, hear ye, hear ye. Everybody listen up. This is a live gun with live rounds. Again, BBs, not actual bullets. Be careful, right? I had everyone back away. Everyone get behind the gun. I only had one person handling. We weren't passing it around because, again, the safety of the actors has to be your number one priority when you're doing things. You have to practice it. You have to choreograph it. Any scene, any swing, any punch, any kick that happens, it has to be accounted for. The actor has to know about it, or it's going to mess up the whole thing. So, yeah. Now, camera angle. Like I said before, the actors are never hitting each other. Things never connect. So, if I have the axe, this is a fake one, obviously. Oh, it's breaking. If I have the axe and I swing it at somebody, right? I don't want to do it at an angle where they're going to see that it's not hitting my face. That's stupid. And we can do better than that, right? But we do want to do it at an angle where they can't tell. Usually it's going to be like if you're doing a medium shot behind that person's shoulder, that's a good idea. If you're doing a medium over the shoulder punch, then it happens so fast and it's at such an angle that you can't see that it's not connecting. And then that's kind of where step 3 comes in, which is editing. Editing is where you can add your risers, you can add your intense action music, you can add your sound effects, your punching sound effects. If you have an axe, slice. If you have a BB gun, pew pew, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where editing comes in. And then once you put these all together, you mesh them all nicely, then you have a cool fight scene. So if you're first starting out, choreograph the fight scene. Write down exactly what happened, step by step, beat by beat. Who hits what, when, where, right? How, everything. Then, once you have written that down, go over it with the actors. You're going to do this to him, you're going to do this to him, right? Practice the scene out until they have it down. And then, this is kind of important, I didn't mention this before, once they have it down, you're going to want to make sure that it doesn't look like it's choreographed. There are certain shows, when you watch people fight, Cobra Kai, where it looks choreographed. If you watch real fighting, if you watch MMA or boxing, and they get hit hard, right? And you want to make it look like somebody's actually getting hit hard. Especially if this is a fight scene where they're not like super spy trained fighters, they're just regular people. You have to, after you have the choreography down, make it look like an actual fight. Make it look like they're actually taking hits. That's important. So, those are my lessons. Those are my tips and tricks and tools. I hope you learned something today. Stay tuned for the next video.